Hello and welcome to Unmasking the Glory. Okay, so unfortunately, as expected, just finished that FA Cup game against Brighton and we're out. We are now out of the FA Cup. Typical. I mean, if you're the hierarchy at the club, unfortunately, you're probably smirking because I'm 100% convinced that's why they left Darren Fletcher in charge of this game, because they feared what would happen. They expected Man United to lose this game. I'm convinced of it. As for Darren Fletcher, I really hope for his sake that this is his last game and he gets to go back to managing the youth team. Um, as I said in previous videos, I think he's doing a good job on the youth setup. But no way should we keep him any longer in charge of the main first team. And I think if we do that mistake, I think it will be increasingly harder for Fletcher to go back to the youth setup. I'm expecting within the next 24 hours for it to be named that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is taking over as interim manager until the end of the season. Whether he would do it as a pairing with Carrick, I can't see it. I know that's what happened last time, but I think it would just be Ollie on his own. Yeah, but we'll see. We are in a dark place at the moment, aren't we? It's not good. I mean, if you look at those performances, and I always slate Fernandez off. I really do. I say numerous times he's an incredible individual talent, but as a team player, he's not what we need, and he's certainly not a Manchester United captain. No way. I would cash in on him in the summer with the Saudi club and use the funds better. Sesko, I mean, it's funny, isn't it? I've got a friend that I talked to during the games, and him in particular. We have this running joke that every time we play Brighton, we always end up saying the same thing about Welbeck. Every time it's been, I'd swap Welbeck for any of our attackers right now. And the same again in that game. I mean, Welbeck makes us a laughing stock, and I know why the fans are so happy for him. He's like one of the only players that is playing for another club at ex-Man United that we cheer for. It's because it was Man United, forced him out of his. He didn't disrespect the club or anything like that. He's still putting the shifts, but we kind of forced him out. And yeah, I think a lot of that, unfortunately, is negative on Rooney. But that's a whole other story. Where do we go from here? I mean, we are now looking like we need to finish in the Champions League places, and that's going to be a push. I mean, can you imagine? We'll be in the same position we were 3 years ago, where we're trying to get a manager, and we have no European football at the top level. It's not a good pulling factor. I mean, the name Manchester United right at this minute only brings you so much grace. Yeah, this is bad. I mean, Dallot was watching him. It was a game of two halves for him. On one hand, he was doing really good aggressive runs on the right, but on the other hand, he was far too wasteful. I have no idea why we even started Mount on the right. That seems ludicrous. I know Lacey got a red card, and that's both on our coaching and him as a youngster. Him as a youngster, you're going to be naturally fired up. You're going to be naturally doing these stupid things. But I also blame our coaching, because we should have been very crystal clear to him leading up to the game, leading up to him coming on, about the expectations, about ensuring you keep your head. You don't do these silly things. Like if you're lucky to score, don't take your shirt off. If you're frustrated, don't slam the ball down. These are basic yellow cards that everybody understands and knows you're going to get booked for. The fact that he got a yellow card 5 minutes earlier, I mean, someone's not doing their job right. It's not fully on Lacey's shoulders. That's on our coaching. But I would have started him on the right. Mount is not, at his age, he's not on the right. And at the moment, with our current setup, with what Darren Fletcher went with, he was playing with a lot of pace and with the wing backs. Mount does not fit in there. Kuna, I mean, he's by hand on heart. He's the player for me that I think is a Man United player. He's a world class player. I really rate him. But it's the second game in a row. Saw it against Burnley. He was absent for most of it. He didn't do his best. I'm not going to be too critical of him. But yeah, I thought he had a disappointing game. Martinez, another disappointing game. Yoro did all right, I guess, but wasn't as tight as he could be or should be in those defensive positions. Dorgu. Dorgu is similar to Dalot, really, in regards to having a game of two halves. Very positive, powerful runs, and pretty confident on the ball when he was defending. But he was in those defensive areas far too much. But he just, he put in a half decent few crosses, better crosses than Fernandez did. That weren't either straight to the goalkeeper or not. Mr. Offside, sorry, Benjamin Sesko. Sooner I can get him out of the club, the better. Even after the Burnley game when he scored 2 goals, I still did not think he played well. There's a difference between having a good game and playing well. He had a good game because he got 2 goals. He did not play well. He thought it was Michael Jackson with all his footwork, and nothing came off. But yeah, let's see what happens over the next 24, maybe 48 hours. Fingers crossed, this is Darren Fletcher's last game and he gets to go back to the youth team. And he can still hold his head high. He took over the reins when Man United needed him to. But we got a draw and a loss against 2 teams that arguably should have trounced both of them. And then you ask yourself, if we stuck with Amorim to this point, would we be in a worse position? It's impossible and improbable to think we would be any worse off. So yeah, that's the mistake the hierarchy have made. But yeah, so we're out of the game, out of the cup. Did not play well. There are very little positives to take from this. But look, march on. And we continue to try to unmask the glory of this great team once more. Anyway, please like, subscribe to the channel. Bring in another video very soon. Take care.